Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In our major story, female suicide bomber blows up self after failed mission to bomb school in Niger State. Also in this program, local hunters regain Maiha local government area from Boko Haram in Adamawa State. And police set to commence mop-off of arms and ammunition across Nigeria. And outside Nigeria, NATO claims it sighted Russian troops entering Ukraine. Thank you for joining us again. President Goodluck Jonathan on Wednesday unveiled the new 100 Naira commemorative notes at the presidential villa in Abuja. Vice President Amadi Sambo and the Central Bank of Nigeria's Governor Godwin Emefiele joined the president to unveil the note during the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. Shortly after presenting the note, Emefiele said it was issued to commemorate the 100 years of the nation's amalgamation. There were concerns over the amount the CBN will use in printing the new notes and whether it will be done locally. Jonathan was quick to say the questions will be answered when a memorandum of the issue is presented to the council.
As we can see from the slide, there are many different examples of countries that have issued notes for different reasons. For instance, Morocco issued new currency to celebrate its 25 years of the country's banknote production company. Russia recently also issued banknotes to mark 100 days before the 2014 Olympics. Costa Rica issued new banknotes to celebrate 100 years of its independence. In issuing this note, Mr. President, the Central Bank of Nigeria is joining the nation in celebrating 100 years of our amalgamation. In keeping with Central Bank's tradition of excellence, we have produced a banknote which is the first of its kind in many respects, but most importantly, that it has been designed and produced with most advanced security technology in the world.
A suspected female suicide bomber has killed herself in a failed attempt on students of Federal College of Education, Kotangora in Niger State. CoreTV News gathered that the female suicide bomber was instantly killed while 3 students sustained injury. The police spokesman in the state, Ibrahim Gambari, confirmed the development, adding that the female suicide bomber blew up herself before she could reach her target. No fewer than 80 members of the dreaded Boko Haram set were said to have been killed on Tuesday by local hunters in Maiha local government area of Adamawa State. It was learned that one of the local hunters, who was part of the team that engaged the terrorist group in a fierce battle, that they were angered by Monday's attack on their town, deciding to move against the terrorists. The hunters said they mobilized other local hunters from surrounding towns to engage the insurgents, and they were successful in recapturing their town. The boat said that if given a chance by the military authorities, they would have dispersed the insurgents from all the captured areas of Adamawa and beyond. The Nigeria Police High Command says it will commence a nationwide mopping up of arms and ammunition before the 2015 general elections. Speaking at the launch of a human rights manual for police officers in Abuja, Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Alba expressed concern over what he described as the worrisome rate at which arms are imported into the country ahead of polls. He also reiterated the commitment of the police to making sure that the 2015 general elections is peaceful and devoid of violence.
Efforts were made to arm vigilante group or militias in those states, and I recall my directives in writing to them, to the two commissioners of police in particular, but it was a general directives anyway, and I have a copy of it here, where we directed every commissioner of police to not only make a press statement banning the possession of illegal weapons, but to also advise members of the public to return those arms to the police. While those recovered through our own efforts, as the law provides, they will be prosecuted and justice will take its course. This is a continuous exercise, and we don't intend to stop it. What we are doing now is we are laying emphasis on it in view of the oncoming elections, in view of, in particular, the commencement of campaigns, which will begin in a few days' time, and believing that politicians sometimes, to their knowledge, at times, out of their knowledge, their supporters get themselves armed, and before you know it, they begin to use it against themselves. But we have a responsibility to protect the lives and the property of the people in Nigeria, and for that reason, we will continue to mop up arms.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Sulaiman Aban Weste, in Abuja says 30 policemen are still missing following the August 20 attack on its training school in Ugoza, Borno State, over by Boko Haram. Abba disclosed this shortly before having a closed-door meeting with Deputy Inspector Generals and Assistant Inspector Generals on effective policing. He reassured that the rescue mission to ascertain the whereabouts of the missing policemen is still on. Abba also confirmed that recently one of the missing policemen showed up and has since resumed at his duty post.
Still have some of our colleagues missing. As we said earlier on, about 30 of our colleagues who unfortunately have remained missing since the incident on the attack of our training school in Goza. We have said it and will continue to say it. We will not relent in all efforts being made to trace them. I said it last week that a few days ago, one of them reported at his place of work. I believe, and I have not seen any reason why I should doubt that belief. Someone who goes or who went through that trauma may feel that the best thing he should do is to go back to his village, or to go back or go and hide somewhere where he feels he's safer until such a time perhaps he recovers well. It is in that belief that we are hoping that today and tomorrow, one or two of them will continue to appear. And if they do, we'll give them all the necessary assistance, not only to regain their health, but to also go back to their jobs.
A public affairs analyst and activist Abiodun Aremu has described Tuesday's declaration by President Goodluck Jonathan ahead of the 2015 presidential election as insensitive to the general plight and emotional being of Nigerians. Aremu told CoreTV News that the myriads of problems confronting the country leaves much to be desired this time.
It's inconsequential to the problems that we have in the country, and I think it's undermining or making an understatement, you see, to use the Jonathan declarations as a commentary on the state of the nations. We are talking of a ruling class of looters that have held Nigerians to ransom in the last so-called 15 years of civilian dispensations. And what you can see of it is that you have a polity of insecurity. You have a polity in which the Nigerian state is incapable to address the question of the insurgency that has been responsible for the untold hardship, you see, for the violence and killings of several Nigerians. We have today a government that is running on a policy that is driven by selfish interest and profit, to the point that 50 million of our youth have no jobs. For us in the Joint Action Front, the issue is much more fundamental than to be diverted about declarations of a non-performing president, a non-performing systems, and irresponsible politics.
You're watching CoreTV Primetime News. 3 senators dump APC for SDP in Ogun State. Find out more and these and other stories after this timeout. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Your favorite 24-hour news channel CoreTV News has been nominated in 3 categories of this year's Nigerian Broadcasters Merit Award. Log on to www.nba.linkedlist.us, sign in with your Twitter details or email and vote for CoreTV News categories 14 Newscasters of Year TV Mail, categories 22 Best Coverage of News Story, and category 30 TV Station with Best Innovation. Deadline is 12 midnight, Thursday, November 13, 2014. Thank you for being there.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. If you're just joining us, here is a quick reminder of some of our major headlines. A female suicide bomber blows up self after failed mission to bomb school in Niger State. Local hunters regained a local government area from Boko Haram in Adamawa State. The police set to commence map-up of arms and ammunition across Nigeria. Thank you for being there. You can also reach us on our social media platform. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. And our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You can also log on to youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, then news. Now, 3 senators from Ogun State have defected from the All Progressive Congress to the Social Democratic Party. Speaking shortly after plenary, Digbenga Kaka says the reason for their action was burnout of the crack currently affecting the APC in Ogun State. He also stated that they did not partake in the recent national convention of the party because the APC has failed to address their grievances.
Senators representing Ogun State at the Senate. I've just delivered a letter, our respective letters, to the leadership of the Senate to the effect that we have resigned from APC and declared formally for SDP.
Now, the governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amosu, and the state chairman of the Social Democratic Party, Olu Agemo, and the party's senator representing Ogun Central at the National Assembly, Benga Obadara, on Wednesday clashed over the alleged removal of the billboards belonging to the party by the Ogun State signages and advertising agency. The SDP's billboards erected at different strategic points in the state were pulled down on Tuesday by men of the agency. One of the billboards erected at Shagamu, end of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, was removed. Another one in Pakutu area of Sangoto also suffered the same fate. The state chairman of the SDP frowned at the removal and described it as politically motivated. He added that the outdoor agency, which they gave the contract, must have paid the necessary fees before erecting the billboards. Agemo, who spoke with journalists at the Shagamu interchange site of the billboards, said the party will investigate the matter. Obadara also said the state governor and his agents have started unleashing terror on the people who had the 2015 general elections. However, the Commissioner of Information and Strategy, Yusuf Olaniyonu, and the General Manager, OGSA, Akinlabi Bamidele, said the agency who erected the billboards had breached some rules for failure to pay the stipulated fee within a time frame. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has adjourned to December 9 a case challenging the legality of the recent registration of the Unity Party of Nigeria (UPN) and the Social Democratic Party (SDP) by INEC. A pro-democracy activist and veteran journalist Richard Akinola, who expressed surprise at the resurgence of the parties, had earlier sued INEC with UPN and SDP as co-defendants. He said the decrees prescribing the two parties should have first been repealed by the National Assembly before they can be registered as such. Akinola is asking Justice Gabriel Kolawole to nullify the registration of the two parties in addition to seeking clarification as to whether INEC has the power to resuscitate outlaw parties without the backing of the law. However, the inability of the bailiff of the Federal High Court to locate the national offices of the two parties in Abuja for service of court processes made counsel to the plaintiff, James Abba, to ask for a short adjournment to enable the bailiff fish out the offices of the two parties. Now, the election tribunal hearing the petition on the August 9 governorship election in Osun State and West State admitted the remaining of the certified true copies of forms EC8A, EC8B, EC8C, and EC8E, which are the election results from the polling units, wards, and local governments at exhibit from the petitioner, the People's Democratic Party. Councils of the PDP and APC expressed their positions on the tender exhibits.
The fact remains that we have tendered the document and we are still going to tender more. Like I told you yesterday, when document speaks better than a human memory. Exactly. So that's where we are heading on.
We have to fast track the proceedings. You see, if you start raising objections now, what you find is that what we have been able to achieve today, we will not be able to. So that is the reason why we reserve them until the end of the day.
Governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Inyola Omishere, expressed satisfaction at the level of proceedings and the conduct of the tribunal so far.
Now, judges are aware of the time constraint. They are aware of the time factor and being stressed earlier on the first day of their ruling. So time is not the problem. We make sure that we take a lead and ensure that this is done correct time. And the judges are ready for it within the specified time as well.
The People's Democratic Party and Inyola Mishiri had dragged the All Progressive Congress and Governor Ralph Aregbesola to the tribunal over the outcome of the August 9 polls. Ahead of the 2015 general elections, Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has enjoined Nigerians to vote only credible politicians who will fulfill their electoral promises. Fashola made the call at the 9th draw of the Lagos Homes Ownership Mortgage Scheme. Our correspondent Abiola Lowole brought back this report presented from our studios.
The Lagos Homes Ownership Mortgage Scheme, an initiative of the Lagos State government to address housing deficit in the state, has been delivering 200 homes monthly to applicants in the last 9 months. Speaking on the plans of government to ensure the continuity of the mortgage scheme, Fashola says the only way to advance the course of development in Nigeria is for the electorate to vote for leaders that have the capacity to impact their lives positively.
When you are making your choice, forget about religion. Forget about my tribe. You know why? You are not choosing us to pray for you. You are choosing us to work for you. God himself has already provided many bishops and many imams, many reverends and many ulamas to do prayer and ministry and give you a full spiritual diet. What you need now is those who will fill your physical vacuums by providing houses, by providing security, by providing schools, by providing healthcare, and by providing jobs, by moving you up the prosperity ladder.
According to Fashola, construction of houses for the initiative is ongoing across the state. Winners at the draw lauded the transparent nature of the scheme.
Not have any doubt that once you apply and you have all the documents necessary, you have a strong chance of becoming a homeowner in this Lagos state.
So for those who are still doubting, well, like they say in Lagos, you're on your own. You better come and get involved, because this is for real.
The Lagos Homes Ownership Mortgage Scheme is designed to provide 1-, 2- and 3-bedroom flats to residents irrespective of their ethnic or party affiliations. It's 30% of the purchase price and 30% of monthly income.
You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We take another break now, return with business, sports and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Welcome you to From the Ivory Tower and happenings around the country. Varsity teachers get to air their views. Students are actually not left out. We bring you intellectual ends from the events happening around you. It is dedicated to educating the populace with a spice of entertainment.
From the Ivory Tower, Tuesdays, only on CoreTV News.
Your favorite 24-hour news channel, CoreTV News, has been nominated in 3 categories of this year's Nigerian Broadcasters Merit Award. Log on to www.nba.linkedlist.us, sign in with your Twitter details or email, and vote for CoreTV News categories 14 Newscasters of Year TV Male, categories 22 Best Coverage of News Story, and category 30 TV Station with Best Innovation. Deadline is 12 midnight, Thursday, November 13, 2014. Thank you for being there.
And in business now, the Minister of FCT, Bala Mohammed, has presented a memo for the award of contract that will enhance the development of the FCT in accordance to the master plan of the capital city. Speaking at the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday in Abuja, Bala expressed worry over the collapse of infrastructures in Gudo and Woya in Abuja. At the end, Council approved the award of contract for the provision of access roads and engineering infrastructure in Gudu, Abuja, and the upgrading of the Molete waterworks in Kwara State.
Small redesigned area that we're providing primary infrastructure. As for Wuye, you all know the place very well. It is almost a cul-de-sac. Only the primary infrastructure is provided. You can only go to Wuye if you are going to Wuye. And in tandem with our master plan, which is sacrosanct, we intend to open up by the creation of a bridge that will connect the road that is traversing through the district to the other outer ring road that will take you to the airport. In which case, if you are in Wuye, you decide to go to the airport, you don't have to come into the town as it is the practice now before you do that.
For the revision of the estimated total cost for upgrading of the Molete waterworks in Kwara State. It's a project that started in 2013. It's going to supply potable water on completion to the community in Molete and also the Kwara State University. The population there is growing. Presently, the estimated population is about 17,000 people. And when completed, it's going to ensure that they have access to potable water. It will also ensure that they have good sanitation and healthier living standards.
Report by the OPEC organization on current monthly oil market says speculators reduced their net long positions by almost 50% in August 2014. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, blamed the fluctuation in crude oil price by members on the role of speculators in the international oil market. It stated that the actions of speculators destabilized trading patterns and created uncertainty in the market, adding that the development had made it difficult for planning needed to enhance the development of the market. It remarked that because of the vital role oil played in nations' economies, any change in the price of crude often affected consumers and producers. It maintained OPEC's position on the oil market had been a continuous search for stability to prosper the market and called for the commitment from all stakeholders to tackle the challenges in the sector. And now British regulators say it will continue to investigate potential criminal acts at Barclays attempted by 5 banks. The 5 banks, namely Citibank, HSBC, JP Morgan Chase, RBS and UBS, will pay a total of $3.38 billion in fines to global regulators to resolve allegations they attempted to manipulate foreign exchange rates. $1.4 billion will be paid to U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, 1.1 billion euro to the UK's Financial Conduct Authority. UBS will make a payment in Switzerland. $5 trillion is traded in the global currency market each day, much of it in London. Traders use private online chat rooms to coordinate their activities, aiming to making profit for their banks at the expense of clients. The banks fail to manage obvious risks and traders behave unacceptably. The banks and individual employees may face criminal charges in both the UK and US over attempts to manipulate the rates. And to market report now, equity transactions on the floor of the exchange on Wednesday ended on a positive note. The all-share index appreciated by 0.88% to close at 33,967.48 basis points. Market capitalization increases to close in the same manner as at 11.25 trillion naira. In all, a total of 3.7 million units of shares valued at 299.9 billion naira were exchanged in 6,120 deals. Report shows that the Nigerian breweries topped the Guinness chart, followed by 7-Up, 40 Oil, Cadbury, and Mobil. On the flip side, Seplat Oil topped the losers chart, followed by Nestle, Flormeal, Guinness, and Champion. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. We'll take another break and I'll be back shortly with more. Do join us again.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa und da ist der Ausgleich.
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, making a difference for all of us here from all our production. I hope one will bless up.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Our style, that's what he delivered. Here's that ball storming, Puyol with a flying lead.
Go, taking them out in the lead
But now, Nigeria has ruled itself out from hosting the 2015 Africa Nations Cup after the Confederation of African Football disqualified Morocco from the event bill for February next year. The Moroccans were reluctant to host the continent because of their fears over the Ebola outbreak in some other countries on the continent. Morocco, which last staged the finals in 1988 and which will host FIFA's Club World Cup next month, had asked for the competition to be shifted to either June 2015 or January 2016. And since the North Africans first made public their desire to have the date, several countries have been listed as standby venues. Nigeria, South Africa and Ghana were on the original list. The list has since expanded to include Algeria, Angola and Equatorial Guinea. As preparations for this weekend's crucial 2015 Africa Cup of Nations continue, Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi has posited that they do not have enough time to prepare for the clash in Port-Noir. The Nigerians have been training ahead of the November 15 game in Abuja, and Keshi doesn't think there is enough time for them to prepare. The African champions will have just about 3 days of training to prepare for the very important game against Congo, but 52-year-old former Nigerian captain doesn't believe it is enough to get them all set for the challenge expected from the Red Devils on Saturday. Nigeria currently have 4 points from 4 matches and are placed a lowly third in qualifying opponents Congo and next Wednesday to opponents South Africa. Cristiano Ronaldo has denied claims that he has an obscene nickname for Lionel Messi. In a new book about the Barcelona forward, it suggested that the Real Madrid player routinely refers to the Argentine with an offensive expression. Tensions between 29-year-old Ronaldo and Messi, 27, have long been rumored. Ronaldo ended Messi's run of 3 consecutive Ballon d'Or victories last year. Furthermore, the Arabs are split by just 1 goal in their bids to become the Champions League's all-time record goal scorer. The Barcelona man last week moved level with former Real Madrid striker Raúl on 71 goals. And German World Cup winner Mesut Ozil has been taken to court by his own father after the 26-year-old sacked him as managing director of his marketing company. Mustafa Ozil, who played an integral part in brokering his son's £42.5 million move from Real Madrid to Arsenal last summer, filed a complaint for a loss of earnings totaling £493,000. German newspaper Bild report the sad story has been a situation where a family has been pulled apart over financial issues involving a star's contract. Ozil's company responded with a counterclaim demanding repayment of a loan worth in the region of €1 million and the return of a company car from Ozil Sr. After initially refusing to pay out, Ghana star Ozil has reached a settlement with his dad, although he won't be involved in the company and has been replaced by Mesut's brother Mutlu. And Britain's Andy Murray kept his ATP World Tour finals hopes alive with a straight-set win over Milos Raonic at the 0-2 Arena. Murray would have been eliminated with a defeat but came through a tense match, 6-3, 7-5. He will face Roger Federer in his final Group B encounter on Thursday with a semi-final place still up for grabs. Federer earlier beat Ken Nishikori 6-3, 6-2 to top the standing after 2 matches. And outside Nigeria now, NATO commanders say they have seen Russian military equipment and Russian combat troops entering Ukraine this week. Russian tanks, artillery, air defense and combat troops were sighted, according to U.S. General Philip Bredlov. Russia's defense ministry, however, denied that its troops were in eastern Ukraine to help pro-Russian separatists there. The rebels have, however, admitted being helped by volunteers from Russia. The United Nations Security Council has convened an emergency section to discuss the reported sightings. Heavy artillery fire rocked the east Ukrainian city of Donetsk, the industrial hub held by pro-Russian separatist rebel on Wednesday morning. There were also reports of fighting near the rebel-held city of Luhansk, with 1 Ukrainian soldier killed and another injured, according to Ukrainian security forces. Well, just before we close the show, here is a wrap of our stories that made our headlines. We told you that a female suicide bomber has blown up herself after failed mission to bomb school in Niger State. We also reported that local hunters have regained Maha local government area from Boko Haram in Adamawa State. Lastly, police are set to commence mop-up of arms and ammunition across Nigeria. Well, and that's been the show tonight. On behalf of our entire crew, news crew rather, I am Frank Omalape, wishing you a wonderful night rest. Good night.